Alright, so on today's menu, we are going to paint that and complete an oil change on my XV30. So we're going to paint this heat shield here just to kind of see what it looks like. If I don't like it, I'll strip the paint right back off. But I've already gotten one bolt off, and then I decided that I was going to go ahead and record this. So this time, nuts. Looks like I either have to use a wrench or I got to take that valve cover, or not the valve cover, but the engine cover off. But what I can do is I'll get this one down here and that one down there, and I have already unplugged the upstream O2 right there. So we'll get that one and that one there, and then I'll use just a regular box wrench, I guess, for that one to get this heat shield off, which is already pretty warm, and we'll go from there. Okay, so now these things aren't, as I was saying before I dropped my phone, these things are not insanely torqued on there. So once you break it loose and give it a couple spins, it should be able to come off with your fingers, like so. Apparently I'd already broken this one loose here. So these bolts are only like half an inch long, maybe, give or take. They're 12 millimeter, by the way. So after finagling this thing around for a minute, I'm gonna find out I either have to remove the O2 or remove this plate here, which I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I do know it goes to this part of the block. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull this plate off, because all it's doing really functionally is absolutely nothing, but it's blocking right here on the heat shield, and that is stopping me from doing this. I want to say these are probably gonna be like 14s or 15s, but we'll see. So these guys were on there pretty good, but once they break loose, they should come right off. Again, functionally, I'm not exactly sure what that plate does, but looks like there's some kind of mounting system for the engine mount here. Maybe if I can get in there, that like bolts it together. No. And I was also right, they are actually 14 millimeter. They are both the same, it appears, so it's really nothing to worry about as far as placement is concerned. And we'll go ahead and get that guy out, set it right there so I can keep track of it. And now this should just kind of come out, and then damn wire, that out of the way, and then ta-da, there it is. You know, it's a shame these let off so much heat, otherwise I would probably leave this as, you know, an uncovered header, but honestly I'm not too fond of the way they look either, so you know, it is what it is. Alright, so before painting anything, you want to scuff it up, unless it's already, you know, scuffed, has a pretty porous surface. This is a little dirty, so I'm going to scuff it and then clean it with some APC, rinse it off with water, dry it, and then I'll hit it with some primer if I can find it. If not, I'll just go straight to color and say fuck it. I'm also going to be using this thing to scuff it up. It makes such a lovely sound. Alright, I'm going to buzz through this and I'll get back to you guys. After a brush change, this thing is actually looking pretty good. I'm not painting the other side, so I'm not really worried about doing that, but it looks okay. Yeah, I had to change to that brush there because the other one just was too much of a pain in the ass to work with. So I'm gonna set this down. And I'm probably gonna do something with this just because it's off in there, and I am that kind of bored. All right, so I have confirmed that I do not have any high temp primer. So I'm gonna hit it with some of this engine enamel stuff that I got from my previous employer. It says non-flat, which to me says gloss, but whatever. Kind of. It's I guess it's a Ford blue, but whatever. I like the color, so we'll go ahead and start this off with some light, just kind of misting here. Give it something to adhere to. I'm not gonna do like a full coat or anything crazy. Not this round anyway. All right, so first layer done. So now what's happening is I've got the car up on jacks, and I'm gonna go through and just kind of show you guys a little bit of what I got going on here. Pardon the little change there. Move that out of the way. All right. So in my move, I have misplaced my other oil barrel, so I went and got this guy. It's only a 10 quart. This car doesn't barely even hold 5, so not really all that concerned as far as the size of that guy needs to be. And that'll be the drain. Get that under there. We have 5W40. I know OEM calls for 5W30, but in my experience at 5W30 with conventional oil, it tends to burn a little. I'm not interested in that happening. I've been running 5W40 for the last 3 years on this car, and I don't burn any oil, so there's that. And then, and I think this may or may not be the reason why. I run 1 full quart of this stuff here, although I do it on every single oil change. So instead of putting the 4.8 or whatever it is in there, I'll put 3.8 of the 540 and 1 quart of this stuff in here, and that will get me my 5,000 miles between oil changes. I've been doing this again for the last 3 years on this car, and it so far has been working out quite well. And I normally would like to run a Mobil 1 filter, but for whatever reason my local AutoZone didn't even have the Mobil 1 5W40, nor did they have the Mobil 1 oil filter for the 2002 2AZ Camry. They have the STP extended life, which is supposedly a 10,000 mile filter. Not that my oil changes ever get that far anyway, but there's my little kit. Temperature of the engine bay is touchable but still warm. You know, it's grabbing onto the exhaust manifold. It's a little toasty, but it's all right. I'm gonna get that guy off. By the way, this right here, complete fucking waste of money. All right, it was like 15 bucks. So I mean, I guess it's not too bad, but this is a sticker. It's not like an engravement or anything, and it wasn't even set when I got it. I had to put it on myself. But should you guys decide that you want that, I will include the link to that in the description of this here video. You know, there's an engine in there. It's not exactly the cleanest, but it's definitely not the worst that I've seen. So I'm gonna go ahead and climb underneath the car, get myself a wrench or something to break that. I think it's a 14 on these guys. But now that I got this set up, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hit that other coat real quick. It'll be one full light coat, and then I'll probably hit it with a second, maybe even a third full coat, and then hopefully I will achieve the color that I am looking for. If not, oh well, I'll just strip it back off and repaint it a different color. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake. Oops, I realized I went off track there. Sorry, guys. By the way, these videos are just for like what I do purposes. You don't need to do it like this. I don't even recommend that you do it like this. It's just what's worked for me before. So yeah, don't even just take what I say with a grain of salt, okay? Alrighty, so we're underneath the car. That is for your transmission, so you don't want to drain that out. However, it's probably about that time I changed this filter anyhow. But anyway, oil pan's here. That bolt right there appears that somebody's tried to use like a fucking crescent or some shit on it, but and I was right, it is in fact a 14. So what you want to do, set up your little pan here, that, and then keep your hand over the top. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to get oil on it. It just means that if you do, you'll probably get less of it. Come on, break loose. There we go. See? That's it. Just put your plug somewhere where it's not going to get bombarded with engine oil there. This fucking thing is not working like it's supposed to. Oh shit. There we go. And it's bubbling, but nonetheless, shitballs. There we go. Well, turns out that thing's supposed to be completely removed, not just partially. And I managed to save my driveway. However, my efforts of not getting oil on my hands were futile, considering I had to do that. But there you go, just kind of let it drain. And that's pretty much it. You got the whole filler cap off up in the bay there. And then once this is done draining, you locate your filter. If you do not know where it is, it's a real good, easy way to find out. Just look for the one thing that does not look like all the rest of the freaking parts. Alright. Starting to feel dumb there for a second. I was like, where the hell is my oil filter? Boom! Right there. Right there. So, this guy, unless whoever did last registered the fuck on there, should be able to come off just a little bit of elbow grease and a bad attitude. And there you have it. You just gotta flip that guy over. Let that old oil drain out of the filter there. And then just kind of sits there. I'm gonna let it sit there for a minute. Pretty sure I just did all of that unrecorded. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and prime this filter, put some oil here, prime that. I've never been given a legit excuse as to why not priming it would be a good idea, although I have seen it done. I've heard people say that, you know, it doesn't really make that big of a difference one way or the other. I was taught to always prime it, so I'm going to continue to do that until I hear a legitimate reason why I shouldn't have to. Some filters you have to put them on, like to prime them and then put them on, you got to put them on upside down, so you got to be real careful with that. But this one goes right up in there vertically. I just feel like it would make things easier on my car to do this. So any debates are welcome in the comments, as long as they're respectful. Don't go dogging each other. So the process that I use to prime oil filters, just basically I pour it till it's about 3/4 of the way full. Yes, I used the dirty oil on my finger to lube the oil ring. Anyway, I'll fill it up about 3/4 of the way. I'll tilt it to the side about like that, and I'll just kind of look in. Kind of hard to see here. Let me see. Can't really see, but inside there's some holes. You got some fins, and the filter media. Basically, just tilt it over to the side and watch the. See if I can get some light on this. There we go. There we go. So you can kind of see it. Right up in there, you got little holes where you'll see the filter media. And basically, I just tilt it to the side and let the oil absorb into the filter media. And that's pretty much it. I'll go ahead and I'll put the filter on. Drain plug is already installed. And then I'll go ahead and throw this up. Alright, so next step here is I'm actually going to drop this quart in first. Now that I have my oil plug installed, as well as my oil filter. Cap is already removed, as you can see. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in there because it's so tacky, so thick. It's going to take forever and a day to drain down. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that, and I'll check in with you guys after it's done. All right. So 3 quarts of 5W40 later plus that equals 4 quarts. As per the Google machine, we're gonna go ahead and get this guy fired up, or gal I should say. So we'll see. And yes, I'm gonna do this while it's still on the jacks. Why? Because I like to live my life on the edge. Now, this isn't necessarily to and yes, I did that on purpose as well. This isn't necessarily to check the oil level because it is nowhere near level. However, I would like to get it back up to operating temperature before I check said engine oil level. And we're gonna go ahead and do that now. 143,805 on this beautiful girl here. Oh shit, my horn's not working. What the hell? Alright, well, I'm gonna have to figure what the hell that is, but alright. That's odd. I'm willing to bet it's a fuse though. Anyway. Oh yeah, check this out. So, some asshole bug decided to land on this, but that's alright. Go ahead and get that guy off of there. Come on, get him. So, there's that. I'll go ahead and allot it about another 20 or 30 minutes for drying. Same thing with that thing there. And then we'll go ahead and see what this guy looks like when we put it on. Honestly, I'm not too excited. I don't think it's going to look very good, but we'll see. I mean, honestly, it doesn't look half bad. And for my next trick on this car, I think I'm going to replace that belt tensioner because it's making a little bit of noise. It has been for the last year and a half. I've just been putting it off because I'm fucking lazy. And I also have an update on that drilled and slotted rotor Highlander conversion brake shit that I did. It fucked up big time. My own fault. I did not secure the passenger side brake line properly, and it ended up rubbing against my CV axle boot, caused some shredding to go on that brake hose, and fucked that boot up. So, you guys want to see the carnage? Here you go. Look at that. Yep. That's what happens when you don't double check your work. I fucked that up 100%. 100% fucked that up, and it's my own fault. So make sure when you're doing shit like this, like you secure things where they're supposed to be secured, because that is not what you want to do. That's going to cost me another probably $70 for the front braided kit, and I'm going to pray to God that AutoZone will warranty that CV axle. So it's going to cost me, if they don't, it'll be roughly $120, $130-ish for both parts, plus a week to wait for said brake lines. And then from there, it's going to take about 4 hours of work and maybe a quart or so of transmission fluid, because as soon as I pull that fucking axle out, it's going to start draining some from the output on the transmission there. So that's lovely. But when I go to do that belt tensioner, I will show you guys how to do it. It does require you take off the passenger wheel, fender well comes off. You know, it's a lot, like the whole fender water splash guard thing that's in there. It is a lot, but honestly it's easier than trying to figure out how to do it only from the top of the motor. So there you have it. I'm gonna go ahead and try to I'm gonna shut this car off, and I'm gonna get that heat shield and that other bracket installed, which by the way I guess bolts the timing cover to the engine. But anyway, I'll check in with you guys in just a minute. Alright, I don't hate it. Gotta wait on that thing to dry completely, see what it looks like when it's done, but we'll see. So now that it's installed, a little too shiny for my taste, but that's probably because I haven't shined anything else up in there. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of torque those guys down. And I'm sure this is gonna dull out once it dries completely, and you know, heat cures and all that fun junk. So, and it's not gonna stay super shiny forever. So, got that completely installed. I'm gonna run over and grab that bracket. We're gonna get that bracket on there before I forget. And then we're gonna see what it looks like when it's completely done. We're gonna get this car off of its jack stands, and that's it, really. Check the engine oil level, make sure everything's exactly where it needs to be, and that's pretty much it. I'll show you guys what's up as soon as I get to that particular spec. Alright, car's off the jacks, brackets installed. Check engine light is on because my dumbass did not connect the O2 before putting the heat shield, or before starting it. So when I started it, it immediately noticed that there was no O2 sensor hooked up. But now it's all situated. It is running. You hear that PCV finally doing its job, which is nice. I recently replaced the PCV valve. Look at it. just idles better. Alright. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and find my OBD2 scanner thingy, wherever that's at. Oh, I got to get my shit together and clean my garage. If it was a damn snake, it'd have bit me. It was right in front of my face. Alright. Alright, step one. Engine off, key in the on position. Electronics all off. Not necessarily that matters, but step two, for the 5th gen Camry, the onboard diagnostics port is right there. And you just go ahead and slide that guy in there. And just wait for that to power on up. Next page, next page. Toyota heater circuit, bank 1. Well, anyway. Erasing trouble codes. The reason why I erased them all is simply because the check engine light was not on until I had that O2 or air fuel ratio sensor disconnected. And now it is currently not on. Let's see, what do we got here? No powertrain DTCs or freeze frame data is presently stored in the vehicle's computer. Oh, really? I wonder why. Okay, go menu. Did I just hit link? Anyway. Alright, linked. Menu. Oh, live data, there's a button for it. Let's just kind of see what this thing is going. All right. Idles a little high, but it's not quite to operating temperature yet, so I'm not too worried about it. Well, alright, everything checks out, everything's all good. That being said, you guys have yourself a great day. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. If you like the video, go ahead and give me a like, go ahead and give me a subscribe. All these videos are raw and unedited so far. I will be doing edited and actual videos in the near future, but right now I don't have the available software to do it, nor do I have the available time, but soon, very soon, that'll be a thing. Hope to make my channel better. Anyway, you guys have yourselves a great day and have a safe weekend and keep on wrenching.